Hi, I'm Josefa, and in this video we are going to see how we can integrate Python code with Tableau. We can do that with the Python library for Tableau by the name of TabPy. So to install TabPy, all we need to do is go into our command prompt. I'm using Anaconda, so I'm using the Anaconda prompt. Just go to the command prompt and write pip install TabPy. And this will install TabPy in your computer. For me, it says requirement already satisfied because I've already installed TabPy in my environment. So to use TabPy with Tableau, we need to create an input form that we can use in a Tableau dashboard. So the user can use that form to give input to our machine learning model and then get an output as a result into our dashboard that we can display on the dashboard. So the form I've already created it looks like this. So I'm doing this for the Titanic dataset. So my input contains a sex, a title, embarked, family size, passenger class, fare, cabin, and age. You can use these form inputs to give inputs for all these cells, and then these cells will take the input into the machine learning model that is serving on our local machine with TabPy, and then it will give us the prediction output over here on our dashboard. So let's see first how we can create this form. Then we'll go ahead with connecting it to the local host, so it can interact with the Python code that is doing the predictions. So we'll just open a new Tableau workbook. So to create the form fields, first of all, I'll rename this sheet to Titanic Survivor Prediction. I'll just change the font styles. So to create the forms, we are going to first of all we will have to connect this workbook to a data. So we'll just go to open. I have the data on my in my downloads folder. I'll just go to the Titanic dataset problem. I'll just use the train.psv. We do not need this data for processing. It's just that the work doesn't work without a data source. So to create the form, we'll create different parameters. So these cells are called parameters in Tableau. We'll create them like this. Just click here and click create parameter. We'll need to create as many parameters as it is required for the model to perform predictions. So first of all, we'll create sex. So since we are using sex as a string, we'll just set the data type to string and set the current value to male. So when our workbook starts, it will just start with male written in it, and press OK. Then create other parameters. Create embarked. For embarked we'll use let me check. For embarked we'll use string as well because it is in the form of characters like Q or S or something like that. So the starting value we'll set to Q. Then we create a parameter for P class, passenger class. We need it in a form of integer or float, whatever works for you. We'll just set it to integer and start it with 1. And then we'll create a parameter for fare. Fare is also in a form of integers. We'll set it to integer. started with one, and we'll create one for title. Title is also in a form of string because title could be Mr. or Mrs. or anything else of that sort. We'll just start it with Mr. Then we'll create one for age of data type integer. Start with 10. Then we'll create one for Kevin, and that will also take that type of string. And we'll start it with B. There are different Kevin types in the form of characters like A, B. We currently need 8 parameters, so we'll see how many we have created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I think we are missing a parameter for family size. Let's create one for a family size. We'll start with 1 in the form of integer. Okay. So now that we have all our parameters set up, we need something for the output, to display the output. So for that, we are going to create a calculated field. Let's click here. We'll name it. Just name it whatever you want. Grid survivors. Now we are going to enter a code inside the calculated field so that it can interact with our host to perform predictions, and our host will be serving our machine learning prediction model. So I've already written this code, and I've just copied it from my previous workbook here. So to return the value, our model will return the value in the form of string like survive or dead. So we need a script str for it. If your model uses a value in any returns values in any other format, you can use bool or real or int or whatever your model uses. I'll just go with string str. Yeah, so str. So this is the syntax for it. You will just write. You just put return code inside the double quote and write return tabpy.qb. After that, the bracket, and this is our functions keyword. We go to that later when we are creating our machine learning prediction model. So this is our functions keyword, the function that we are using to perform prediction. This will just let the host find our function and return a value in that function after the function completes its calculation. And the rest of these are the arguments that are a function, the survive dead function. This is not the function's name, by the way. This is just a keyword that we use with TabPy. The function's name could be anything. So these are the arguments that our function requires. Tableau uses arg1, arg2, SW uses this syntax to give arguments to its functions. So we just need 8 arguments because we have 8 parameters. We'll just send these 8 arguments in the form of arg1, arg2. So this is what Tableau uses. And then we'll write response and just close the quotes after the return. And after that, we'll just put a comma, and we'll just give our argument names out here. So we'll just our parameter is named age. We'll just close it inside our square brackets. and give the rest of the parameters as well. So I'll show you the syntax here. I'll show the complete syntax here. Yeah. So this age argument maps to arg1. Age and the value that we enter into the age cell will go to arg1, and the arg1 will send this value to our function that is working in the backend, and the cabin value maps to arg2, and so on. The last value title will map to arg8. Yes, so this is our calculated field. Just press OK. And now that we have everything set up, we just need to just need to press with left click and then click show parameter control, and the parameter will show in on our sheet. This right here is our sheet, and I will do the same for other parameters as well. Yeah, just you can just do it with the right click as well. Just, do this for all parameters so they show on our sheet. Yeah, I guess all our parameters are showing on the sheet. Now we create a dashboard for this for these parameters and the calculated field, so we can see our prediction output. We'll just create a dashboard by clicking on this new dashboard icon, and we'll just drag this sheet in here. So yeah, so we'll also have to show our calculated field. Yeah, the calculated field that we've just created, the predict survivors. We'll also have to drag it over here so it shows, it actually displays our prediction output. Yeah, it shows here. Yeah, and now we just need to convert it to text. Yeah, we'll just remove it and drag it onto the text. Yes, so it shows our prediction. It will also be displayed on the dashboard. We'll just hide the title. Now we'll go to the layout and select floating. So our fields are floating, and we can customize them according to what we think it looks the best. We'll just check all of these and convert them to float. So they're not fixed. They're not of a fixed size. Floating, checking the floating lets us customize the sizes and positions. So you can just, I don't need to go through with this step. You can just customize it in whatever way you like. I have one customized already. You can see how I have already customized here. I just messed around with the X and Y positions and the height and width and some color. You can do it as well. So I do not need to go through with this step. Now we go ahead with setting up our backend for our machine learning model. So first of all, we are going to our Anaconda prompt to run TabPy. We just go to the command prompt and just write TabPy. So the TabPy will start serving. And now we go to we create a Jupyter notebook. I have already created one for myself here, and this is where my backend code starts. I'll just import these libraries. So this is my mapping functions. When I use these cells to send values to the function for prediction, it will not perform predictions on these values. I'll need to convert these values into the format that is used for training. So we'll just go and see what our mapping function looks like. So the mapping for title is this. It will just convert Mr. to 0 and Miss to 1, Mrs. to 2. And the sex, for sex, it will convert male to 0 and female to 1. For data set, for an age, it will convert the age less than 16 to 0, and so on. This is what my mapping function looks like. So these are the values that will be actually used for our prediction model. I already have a trained model in my directory, and I'll feed it with the Python Speckle library like this. Then I'll use this line to serve our model, serve our for the TabPy to start serving on the local host, and by using this port. And then I'll write our function for the prediction. So now we need to execute all these blocks of code. The last cell is what communicates this Jupyter notebook, the Jupyter notebook containing the prediction models code with our TabPy server. This is the function's name, the predict survivors function that we are using. This is just a statement that that says what the function we're using is doing. This is what the syntax looks like. And this survive dead is the keyword that Tableau uses in our calculated field to call this function. You can see it inside the calculated field here, that we and the code that we write, and the code that we wrote in our calculated field. In the survive, you can see the survive dead keyword calls our function over here. So now that everything else is set up, all we need to do is go to help, go to settings and performance, manage analytics extension. Make sure to select TabPy/external API. Just write localhost in the server and the port 9004 in the port, and press test connection. If it says successfully connected to the analytics extension, then press OK. The port is defined here. We are serving on the 9004 port on the local host. And then we just go to the dashboard that we have created, and we just enter these parameters and see our and see our prediction right here in this calculated fields visualization. It says that the person with these parameters did not survive the Titanic crash. This is what TabPy command prompt looks like, and that's all. This is how you can set up Tableau with Python by the help of TabPy. Thank you for watching.